Hello, friends. Welcome to this podcast episode where I'm going to discuss about artificial intelligence driven insights for pharma supply chain to achieve excellence. This is a part one. Part two is going to follow. Before going to the detailed discussions, I want to give you a brief background. What really we are doing? What is our objective? What are our goals? So, Dr. Jain Joshi has developed a concept Center of Excellence Pharma 4 with an idea how these various emerging technologies of cloud, artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT, blockchain, robotics, chatbot, AR/VR, how they are going to help pharma industry to achieve operational and business excellence while facing those various business challenges and how these technologies can help in overcoming those business challenges. That's what is the basic idea. So, keeping this idea, we have designed a course on smart manufacturing in pharma, which is available on Udemy platform, which has got about 20 modules. I request all of you to have a look at that platform also. We have started about a YouTube channel almost 5 years back with an objective that these particular technologies will be available to the users who are actually working onto the shop floor. So they will get some basic ideas about the concepts and how it can help to the industry. Podcast channel is keeping track about the recent developments into the market, into the operation, into business processes, into regulatory requirements and all that. Those are shared over here into our podcast. Our book series is available onto Amazon, and these books are available onto Kindle as well as on the paperback also. So let's go into the details to look at our agenda. Here I am going to discuss briefly about the introduction of artificial intelligence and analytics. When I'm mentioning the analysis, like it's like a predictive analytics, machine learning, other technologies like blockchain, data mining, how it will help in supply chain optimization, personalized medicines, drug safety, pharma truck traceability, about the product which is moving into the market to the customers or the patients, regulatory compliance documentation, operational efficiencies, regulatory compliances, checks and traceabilities, patients' outcome. So these are some of those factors which I'm going to consider. Some of them are discussed over here in part one. Some of them are in the part two. So let's look at it. What is basically an artificial intelligence and how that analytics is technologies are really helping. So machine learning applications, its algorithms are utilized to analyze the complex data. As you know, at each and every phase, whether it's a purchase procurement or quality or manufacturing or distribution and logistics, the huge data is getting compiled, as we move from a different product at each product for a batch and all that, and use that data to predict either maybe the delivery or the quality results or manufacturing processes and quality, everything. This is going to get predicted and all that. So machine learning algorithms which you can really breed up is going to use that data to predict all those things. And this is the main objective when we are talking about the artificial intelligence. Natural language processing is again a tool which also helps in interpreting the unstructured data and providing the valuable insights to the patient records and the research articles and all that. That should lead to improving the patient outcome. See, finally, every pharma company has got an objective that patient should really get a feel, it should build a confidence, it should build a satisfaction, it should have a patient centricity approach from the company point of view. And that is what is the essential thing. So it should help in the better decision making, operational efficiencies into the healthcare and all. So importance of artificial intelligence as we have seen on to patient side, we have to also think about the manufacturing side. We have to also think about the drug development. So artificial intelligence can also help in drug development, drug discoveries, designing the experiment, designing the process parameter, designing the ingredient, the quantity, the formulation. So there are many more those factors are there. And when you do those experiments, then you have some regulatory compliance data that also needs to be kept. And at the manufacturing stage also, all this data needs to be captured. And the various emerging technologies like IoT that all can help in automating this documentation process and manufacturing the parameters. And that is going to be a very important data set which is going to help every pharma company, every individual, every decision maker to adopt to data driven decision making. Supply chain optimization is very important because it's improving the pro- process parameters, process optimization, helps in resources optimization because you are using many resources like machine, manpower, equipments, and all that. And finally, the time. And that should help to deliver the good parameters and all that. So, when you're thinking about the current challenges, the challenges are also changing. There is a demand variability. The pharmaceutical companies face unpredictable demand and complicating the supply chain planning and inventory management. There are many more factors which are driving the demand planning. There could be your historical data, there could be changes due to market conditions, maybe atmosphere, maybe seasonal requirement, maybe other factors of from your competitors, other new products, maybe pricing challenges. So there are many such things are there. So using that data with big data, with your predictive analytics and all that, you have to arrive at a accurate data, which is very important. And your complete supply chain planning, inventory visibility, inventory management depends upon that. So inventory mismanagement is again a big challenge because ineffective inventory management either can lead to your shortages of stocks or could be an excess stock. If it is a shortage, then you're losing the market. If it is excess stock, you're unnecessarily blocking the money into those things. And both the things are impacting onto your supply chain efficiency. Then there are regulatory pressures are also there. Stringent regulations are required here to maintain the documentation, and that also increases the complexity. So AI's analytics integration can really help you in streamlining those operations, improving the efficiencies and responsiveness and all that. So introduction of artificial intelligence and analytic into pharma supply chain is challenge. So there is a complex situation onto supply chain challenges, fluctuating demands, stringent regulatory requirement, and logistic constraints and all that. So implementing it is a big challenge. Adoption of the technology is a challenge, and then that should really help in transformative solution. When I say transformative, you were earlier having the analog based silos based systems and all that. Now we are moving to AI and beyond that. No, actually into with a digital transformation, which can lead to optimizing inventory, better enhanced digital demand forecasting, and improving the risk mitigations and all. Predictive analytics will help in designing your AI models. This all again depends upon your historical data, real time market trends and all. This has to be based on to the company, the strategy, the priorities, the geography, the strength and weaknesses about each and every product, market, and everything. And then you have to predict the demand fluctuation, enable proactive inventory management, reducing the stockouts and overstocking and all that. There is a risk factor is there again based on to the disruption. Disruption again can be because of a certain points which I discussed earlier, but sometimes there could be a disruption beyond your control also. It could be strikes, it could be failures, it could be certain atmospheric conditions or something. So allowing the time interventions and all something we have to really look and think about it. So improving the accuracy about the demand prediction is very important, and there are certain factors which are going to impact onto your managing inventory, which will reduce the cost, are also discussed over here. Now, artificial intelligence can really play a good role, and it can really contribute a lot because if you really take up all those real-time data for the your improved insights and all that, that can help. And this is a continuous learning process actually. As the new data is coming up, you have to allow the data to adapt to this particular system, which can go on continuously helping to improve your forecast accuracy from time to time and all that. Another tool which is there as an extension of state into your artificial intelligence is machine learning. Now, machine learning algorithms you can really design depends upon the inventory optimization which you want to do it. So you can decide based on to various other process parameters about the inventory levels which you want to keep, minimum, maximum, or the order levels or something like that. So you have to really integrate those with your demand pattern. How those demand patterns are varying, how you want to have your sales and operation planning depending upon the time factors on a monthly basis, weekly basis, quarterly basis, or something. So your supply chain dynamics will have to integrate with your inventory levels based on to the algorithms which you will design onto machine learning side. And that will minimize the waste and will ensure that product availability will be always there to all the markets, all the patients, and that is very important. It also helps in enhancing the quality control. If there are any deviations or disruption possible, the real time thing it can predict it, it can identify, it can indicate you the necessary corrective actions and all that. So this is what is going to happen. Now, this also plays a important role from the blockchain and IoT integration point of view. As I mentioned, IoT also plays a role to have those supply chain transparency to connect to your inventory levels and all that. So, blockchain provides a tamper-proof record of all transactions, not necessarily just a inventory transaction, but even from your market point of view, your sell transactions, your transactions into smart contracts, everything will be there. Those will help. And that automation will really drive the process. It will initiate the necessary corrective action if the system can indicate probable disruptions and all that. So that enhancements in the transparency and authenticity can improve your supply chain and will lead to the patient safety and patient satisfaction. So real-time monitoring using IoT plus blockchain integration is really going to be helpful, and all that sensitive data which is really going to be compiled is basically the cyber secure data will be provided. As we discussed, there's a large data set going to come and data mining has to be there. That will lead to the good strategic decision making. So, as we always discuss about the data driven decision making to optimize the operational and process parameters and the resources and all, which is the most important thing. So in this part one, I have just discussed uh, few uh, parameters. Balancing, I'm going to discuss again into my part two. Besides that, these are certain things. Again, I'm going to remind to you. Do check up at other social media platforms from our side also. You will find anything which you feel it has not been discussed or missing, or you need a more detailing, you will others always find those available over here. In fact, if you have any suggestion, do write to us, share with your network also. Thank you. Bye.